Hi YouTube, it's Lucas here with part 2 of my 4 to 5 part GameStop rant. Part 1 covered used games, part 2 will cover the employees. And let me tell you, the employees are almost just as bad as the actual corporation itself, and you're going to be amazed at some of these stories. There's a website called GameStopSucks.blogspot.com, I believe. The link will be in the description. Horror stories of this GameStop, and horror stories of employees and the company as a whole. So go check out the website and read them. Pretty funny. So as far as my personal experience goes with GameStop employees, I haven't exactly had the best, but I haven't had the worst. There's actually 2 or 3 cool guys that work there. Ross is a pretty cool guy. I don't see him that much anymore, but he's a pretty cool guy. He's pretty much, he breaks the rules pretty much, and so I can get away with a lot of shit in that store. So I mean, that works. I usually get the employee discount on everything, so that helps a lot when he's working there. Plus this other guy, Thomas, I think he went to Iraq or something. I don't know what he did. Something with the war that he did, and he doesn't work there anymore. I haven't seen him in like 2 years. So the guys that work there, some of them are pretty cool, but this one bitch, I will never forget her. She was the biggest asshole. She would talk on her cell phone during hours. She would leave the store and go to the little concession stands or whatever outside in the mall, go get pretzels, go get fucking food, get carryouts at Coney Island across the corner, and she would just leave the store whenever the hell she wanted. And she couldn't get in trouble for this because she was the only woman working there at the time, and she was the only black person working there at the time. So she had 2 cards to pull at once. So obviously they couldn't fire her because she pulled out the race card or the gender card. She would talk on her phone, leave the store, and ultimately everyone hated her. She was the biggest bitch. And this is how she eventually went to her demise. She would, okay, you first gotta know this. When a store sells something, there's gonna be 2 receipts. The store's copy and the customer copy. She would take the fucking store copy. Well, there would be 2 I think she had 2 customer copies. She would do a fake return on used games. She would take a game that cost $55, $25, fucking $5. She would return every game she sold under someone else's name on the computer. So she would get all that money back on top of what she already, gets hourly. So she would put in generic white names like John Doe and John Smith and addresses like fucking 123 Sesame Street, okay? She would do, I shit you not, she would do that, and she got away with it for about a week, and she would get all this money on top of what she made hourly. So, and my good buddy Ross who worked there, she did it under his account too. He almost got fired until she got caught doing it on camera, actually. So Sonia, you are a bitch. So that's one bad employee who worked there, but no, it doesn't stop there. The biggest problem is with these managers, because these managers can do whatever the fuck they want. Now, whenever there's a midnight release for a game, the store is locked up until 12. Till the clock strikes 12, it's locked up. During the midnight release for Brawl, I was at a GameStop, not my usual one, I was at a different one. And we were freezing our asses off, because I was there early for the tournament. I thought I was going to get in early, but obviously I didn't get in. Because I think you're supposed to get in early for the tournament, and they didn't fucking let us in. So we were freezing our asses off in the middle of February, up here in Michigan, waiting for the game to come out, yet the manager and all his friends were locked up inside there, all toasty and warm, playing the game before the release, doing fucking unboxing videos of the game 2 hours before release. So obviously they broke the law right there, which I found out that if you open a game or sell it before the release date at GameStop, you get fined $250,000. So obviously that must have been $1 million right there almost, that they fucking, could have got fined. But of course they didn't, because they work at GameStop and they can get away with murder. So it's mostly the managers, though. It's not, the regular floor employees, because they don't get paid shit. They're underpaid, and most of them are just college kids or high school kids. So the managers mostly can get away with anything they fucking want. These GameStop employees also have a big influence on what you purchase and its availability. GameStop employees are allowed to rent, basically, any game of their choosing for up to 4 days. So, have you ever realized why so many copies of games are gutted, where you give them the display case and they throw the disc in there, which they should give you a brand new copy shrink wrapped, but the reason why they don't do that actually is because they can rent a game for 4 days and then return it. So, they open all the new copies and they can use for new games as well. So, if you want to get a rare game, or if it's a last copy of a game, and you want to go pick it up, nope, sorry, you can't do it because the GameStop employee is currently renting it, which they shouldn't be able to do. They can do this free of charge. They can do this to any fucking game. They also can shrink wrap games after they're opened. I shit you not, because this has happened to me too. Games were already open, but they were shrink wrapped again. You can tell because the shrink wrap is shitty. It looks like some fucking monkey saran wrapped it, okay? It looks like shit. So, GameStop employees also can do that as well. So, you want to go buy a game? Sorry, it's being rented right now by a GameStop employee. Harkening back to what I said in the first video about used games, GameStop employees have a lot of leeway on how much money you get for your trading games. Now, there's these things called refurb fees. Have you ever heard of them? You probably have not. Refurb fees are for a game where if the game looks too scratched or too damaged, they take the game anyway, but they charge you a refurb fee, so it takes away from the store credit. That's supposedly to cover the shipping costs to go get it shipped. And I don't know who in the fuck does these, but they look like complete shit. They look worse than when they first came in. Now, I was trading in a lot of games. I had like a backpack full of games because honestly, I just cleaned out my inventory and I didn't need them. And I actually ended up owing GameStop a few dollars that they took away from other games I traded in because I owed them a refurb fee that was worth more than the fucking game. And unfortunately, I didn't look at the receipt when I was there. But the GameStop employee, they look at it, and if it feels bad to them, they will charge you that refurb fee. Almost a lot of games they will fucking charge. If there's a fingerprint on it, they'll do it. My GameStop is so picky about that. That's one of the reasons why I also don't trade in games, because they're super picky about it. Other than the fact that you get shit deals, they're picky about it. And so they have a lot of leeway on how much you get for the game. It's up to their judgment, people. They have a lot of judgment on that as well. And I'm sure you didn't know that either, because they don't tell you about it. You gotta look for it on your receipt. Also, GameStop employees are extraordinarily careless with what they do. Going back to how I told you they had those drawers filled with games with those CD slip cases over them. Yeah, this is what they do when they fucking put a game in a case. I swear to God, they toss the game up in the air like a goddamn frisbee and try to catch it in the case. That's what they do. I swear to God, they look like they're drunk when they try to put games in there. They just slap it on in there. One time, I swear to God, I went to go get Call of Duty 2. I bought it used because I saved like $10 or something, so I bought it used. And the guy forgot to put the game in the case. I am not kidding. I walked out and I got in the car and then I opened it. So I opened it up and I shit you not, I didn't. When I took it out of the bag, I didn't hear that little CD rumble you hear kind of. And I look inside, there's no game in there. And then I go back in, I say, excuse me, sir, you forgot the game? And lo and behold, he said, nope, no I didn't. I put it in there, I know I did. And then I said, look to your left, and on the counter, it was the fucking slipcase with the CD inside it. So his dumb ass didn't even put it in there. And then when he put the CD in the case, he fucking slipped and then scratched the CD on that little spindle thing in the middle that holds the CD inside the case. So, obviously, GameStop employees do not care about what they do. They just slap the game on in there and send it out to you. It's ridiculous. And these GameStop employees need to care more. And maybe they wouldn't charge you so many refurb fees if they knew how to fucking put a CD in a case. So as far as employees go at GameStop, they employ some of the worst people. Occasionally you'll get a few good people, but most of the time it's just a bunch of rotten eggs. So, thanks for watching this video, and tune in for part 3, which is coming up in the next few days.